What is up, guys? This is your boy Superior Simmer, and today I have some more information regarding The Sims. If you guys like news, updates, and discussions, please hit the sub button, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. I also do have an affiliate link with Instagame to bring you guys cheaper games. If you guys click the right side of the screen or the link in the description, you guys will find a bunch of deals on cheaper game titles. They have action RPGs, adventure games, of course simulation, racing. Without further ado, let's get into the content. All right, guys, so we got a new patch update for The Sims 4. Heading on over to Twitter, they say, Simmers, today's base game update brings fixes for the top voted issues, fewer repetitive phone calls, improved notification controls, and additional gameplay improvements. So apparently, from what I've heard, this is supposed to be a very big patch update. But yeah, this is a huge quality of life update that's supposed to make our gameplay a lot better. So again, all those extra phone calls, like people asking, oh, do you think I should go out with this person, especially if you're not even friends with them, stuff like that has been removed. You only get those notifications if you're friends with that sim. And also the festival event. So if you're playing in like Oasis Springs and you get a notification for a Spice Festival in City Living, you have the option to turn that off now. So I would say for obviously long time players, if you've been playing the game since like City Living or whatever, these updates aren't bad because again, the festival notifications do get annoying. But overall, I don't think it's like a crazy update. Now apparently after this update, The Sims Direct posted on Twitter again saying that they're investigating missing roofs. This was reported after yesterday's base game update. They said they're testing and fix targeting our July update, and pending testing will share another update in the thread below as soon as we have more to report. If you guys are experiencing missing roofs, it's because of this new update, which is again ridiculous. But yeah, and of course, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on this update. Do you guys think this is an amazing quality life update? Do you think it's mid, or again, has it improved your game? Let me know in the comments down below. Now before I jump into the patch notes, there is a bunch of new free stuff on the marketplace. I don't remember the last video I did when I mentioned this, but some of the newer stuff that's been added is the Sunny sketches. So it's supposed to be this like swimwear outfit attire. There's a bunch of different swatches, and then the Sayabu, I know that's not how it's spelled, I'm just saying that to be funny. The Sayabu free samples is like some bed set, and then there's other stuff too, like the Japandi bedroom, monolith office collection. So all this stuff is free. If you guys want to download it, just go to the marketplace and then go to the free section. Okay, so moving on, heading on over to the patch notes. They said you called, we answered, fixes and improvements. So they mentioned the key takeaways. They said clearing the noise, players now have more control over live mode notifications. They can set the festival alerts that they want to see. There are fewer repetitive phone calls, fewer unnecessary interruptions, and more relevant social interactions that make more sense story-wise. We've implemented bug fixes for 12 of the most player-voted issues. Mac users will enjoy changes addressing the infinite loading screens and graphical flickering. And lastly, this patch is working magic with fixes for visual and crashing issues with occult in 3 packs. They said over 70 general bug fixes improved the player experience, including fixes for windows, door alignment across graphic settings, and gallery issues with thumbnails, endless loading, and custom tattoos. So I am late on this update. This update was on the 30th of June. This is for PC, Mac, and console. Now they say Sadi ring ring pick up. It's me, Kalia, your favorite phone lady. I don't know who that is. They said from the main menu, just had to call and tell you about the newest quality of life update. You reported them, voted on them, kept them at the top of the list. We hear ya. This update tackles 12 of some of the most upvoted reports on the EA forums. The team has also made moves to reduce save corruption for Mac users, along with more fixes for issues you've been reporting. Some of the best news I've heard since my phone heart started letting me know when I'm left on red. Not that you ever do that, right? I will definitely leave you on red, girl. And so I love it when calls can answer like your calls for improving live mode notifications. There's been a new pass at live mode notifications to make everyday gameplay feel more intentional and less overwhelming. You're getting more control over festival and phone notifications, meaningful story context for calls, and fewer repetitive phone calls. Why would anyone want fewer phone calls? Apparently to cut down on spam and keeping immersion front and center. That I get. Anyways, keep reading to learn more, and don't forget that I'm always here, waiting just a phone call away. This girl looks crazy. So again, what's new? They said fewer infinite load occurrences on Mac. As part of their continued investigation into save corruption and following our March 10 update, we moved scratch files from documents to app data for PC players to prevent conflicts with cloud backup services. Since the rollout has completed, we have observed improvements in infinite load occurrences. For this June update, we're making those same changes for Mac users. So this is a really big one. They talk about the festival notification controls. They said we've added a festival notification section to the game options menu that will allow players to determine which festivals they receive notifications for on a pack by pack basis. So yeah, with this image, it gives you kind of like an example. So yeah, these are all the festivals that we got in with the DLC. So we have the Samurai Shooting festivals, the Brightchester University events, Mount Kobarebi, Copperdale High School fairs, all that stuff. So all this can be disabled if you guys don't want this in your game. Again, you get like this pop-up notification, loud music plays. I feel like sometimes I'm just trying to vibe and play my game, and I'm not trying to see all that. So again, this is a really nice change. Now this also fixes and improvements for live mode, TNS notifications, and phone calls. So more control over notifications. So they said they've updated the silence phone button to support newer content, which will provide more control over notifications. It should now properly prevent all phone calls, including base game. Though they say notifications make more sense for your story. So they say gone are the days when Sims would call for dating advice when they barely knew you. Now only friends will do this. Actually, why not do this for all the neighborhood stories? All neighborhood stories phone calls will now require Sims to be at least friends before they reach out. Sims in their freelancer career will no longer receive gig calls and pop-ups from careers that they're not in. Sims now need to be friendly before they call to invite your Sims to a festival or getaway, adding a story context to these calls. Stayover calls now can happen multiple times. They may occur anytime after 14 days have passed since the initial call, and this fix is retroactive in old saves. Sims that are actively present on the lot will no longer call to ask about your adult Sims childhood for the formative moments feature. Goodle Grim is a little pickier on who they'll try to recruit now. He's the Grim Reaper after all. He has options. He'll only call Sims to offer a job if they are macabre. So this talks about the less spam. So they said, hey, we heard you just became friends with Just Kidding. We removed some repetitive phone calls in live mode based on feedback from Reddit, Discord, and the EA forums. Players no longer receive the following phone calls. I'll just mention stuff like, hey, you became friends with that person, you became enemies with this person, and then, hey, I heard you and that Sim are becoming friends now, you're getting more popular, clearly you're a good person to know. They also mentioned, do you want earbuds? They also decrease how frequently players will get dancing and bar night invites from other Sims. Best Story will not call as quickly or as frequently anymore. However, when she does call, if you accept, you're still at her mercy. Good luck. They also mentioned that they decrease how frequently players will get the community closeness calls. They removed the come check out thrifty notifications. They decrease how frequently players will get romance related phone calls as well. The discovery request for the starring a dynasty should occur only once per save, and in general they decrease how frequently players will get invites from other Sims. Now there also is more flexibility on the marketplace. They said they're improving price transparency for maker packs and kits in the marketplace with a simplified purchase flow. When you click the new buy button in the marketplace, the nearest amount of moolah will be automatically redeemed for the chosen kit or maker pack. For example, now when you purchase a maker price at 300 moolah, you'll be able to spend $2.99 MSRP directly at checkout. To make this a better experience, Buy also provides 9 new moolah offers: 300, 400, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1100, 1200, and 1300. So yeah, clearly this is them trying to incite players to spend moolah on this bullshit. I felt weird even just reading that. I don't know. Now they said this is only available for Simmers on PC and Xbox. PlayStation Simmers will get this option in a future update. Now these are all the bug fixes, so this is for the most voted issues. So they said windows and doors now display correctly and remain properly aligned with the walls across all graphic settings, low, medium, and high. If occurring during low settings load, I don't know if that read that right, please follow the prompt and restart your game to see the update. They said they fixed an issue where partner Sims could go from inappropriate relationship upon leaving creative Sim. This fix isn't retroactive in saves where the relationship change already occurred, but it is retroactive in old saves where the relationship change hasn't yet occurred. Note, there is still another case of this behavior we're still investigating. They said they addressed an issue where the game could become stuck in the thumbnail UI when a user clicks on a gallery item after changing the filters when navigating with the controller. They said they fixed an issue where Simmers on Xbox and PlayStation consoles would encounter a soft lock when trying to download tattoos from the gallery. They also fixed an instance of endless loading, save corruption that occur when trying to play certain lots from the gallery. This was happening because these lots had an overuse of placement cheats that were corrupting the lots' footprints. They also adjusted how nav meshes behave to account for these instances. A top community concern around Sims performing mean interactions was investigated. We found while this was previously happening, these were old bugs that we previously addressed in past patches. When investigated, now reports and player saves, we found this was being caused by the Vicious Dynasty ideal. However, Sims with the Vicious Dynasty ideal will no longer autonomously run mean interactions. They will still get prestige points when a player manually runs mean socials. This is a fiction issue where child Sims could be automatically added to a dynasty, and players will receive the join dynasty notification on repeat when entering or leaving creative Sim. They fixed an issue where doctors couldn't perform interactions with their patients or use a deliver food interaction. They fixed an issue that was preventing Sims from adopting cats and dogs. They fixed an issue that was preventing Sims from performing the feel love interaction properly happily on a cat or small dog. They fixed an issue that prevented Sims from bathing small dogs. And lastly, Sims are once again able to complete the hair and makeup task on the actor career gig. So this is the Mac update. Now they said we did some rendering backend synchronizing on Mac, which has addressed some graphical flickering issues in the game where players manually disabled SSAO in their SGR file. Now moving on to occult fixes, they said they've addressed a handful of visual and crashing issues relating to occults with this patch. Island living, they said they fixed old saves where Merfolk Tales had gone missing. To visually fix the issue on your end, the affected Sims must be taken into Creative Sim once to return the tale. So this is by Enchanted by Greed. They said fairy rooms will remain visibly after traveling to other lots. This is fixed retroactively. They also mentioned fairies with the altered skin tone will no longer cause the game to crash after the player swaps forms or appearance modifiers repeatedly. They said switching from fairy form to normal sim form to have the skin tone of the fairy form. Now this is for werewolves. They said we fixed some issues where users created werewolves from existing saves will not be able to apply nose swatch colors and create a sim. They said werewolf nose color options will no longer reset when a teen wolf sim goes to school, returns home, and then enters a creative sim using a mirror. Now this is a console update. They said they fixed the issue where creative sim and build mode catalog could not be sorted by pack on PlayStation. Simmers on Xbox will not be prompted to restart their game after purchasing Moolah after downloading another pack. Xbox players will be prompted to restart their game after downloading an expansion pack or game pack. This is required for the new content to be available in game. You know, the console controls are still not fixed and we're in 2026. Nobody's talking about it anymore. I don't even think console players are even talking about it anymore. Maybe it has been updated and I don't know. I've been out the loop, but from what I've last heard, the console controls have still not been fixed. No one cares. No one's talking about it. So now they mentioned general bug fixes. They say in addition to our notification improvements, occult fixes, and scratch file work, we've continued to address highly voted community issues and also some issues that were easier fixes. Now moving on to base game, they said stacked items will no longer get stuck on the cursor when attempting to move to the Sims inventory. This is fixed for stacked items, photos, and paintings. If this is still observed in other cases, please report. They said we also made improvements to various base layer assets. These updates include split gender versions of the turtleneck to improve texture quality around the neck, split gender versions of the underwear bra asset to improve texture quality, and tweaks to the YFACC under base layer bodysuit, cat pink, long wide, and tank wine textures to remove a breast shadow for gender neutrality. I'm just gonna say Neutrogena because I can't. Couple Sims will no longer only perform the kiss interaction autonomously. We fixed an issue where the new items icon would reappear in build mode on items that had already been seen. We fixed a situation where household Sims could get incorrectly labeled as a neighbor and weren't able to use doors. They fixed a simulation error that resulted in appliances and sinks breaking repeatedly despite repair, travel, or time passing. The partner relationship would no longer revert to a general household member after re-entering Creative Sim. They also fixed an issue that would happen between 2 and 3 a.m. at night, resulting in Sims becoming stuck and unable to be swapped between. We fixed an issue where all UI options and interactions could become inaccessible. The exiting build mode relating to work schedules. This fix is also in old saves. They also fixed Sims no longer obsessively view frog or insect collections, including the noble frog. They also fixed the instance of infinite loading, which could occur when loading creates via an unloaded sim through the Simology panel. They fixed an assert that was occurring related to the stairs when the object was deleted using the sledgehammer tool after buying a styled room. They said when a sim travels to a community lot and it enters plans an outfit in Creative Sim, using a mirror, closing cast will now correctly redirect the sim back to the community lot rather than their home lot. They also added a tiny idol that active sims will play once a day before they get their energized buff. Now this is like this multiple fixes. So they said there are sims who can be duplicated has been fixed in a variety of ways. If this duplication already occurred, this will not be fixed retroactively in those specific instances. They said they fixed an issue where Raul could become duplicated as the grocery delivery sim Cottage Living. The NPC sims were Heal, Adventure Waits, and Zala. I'm so sorry guys, I'm butchering these names. Can no longer be married, moved in, or proposed to. They're unique NPCs that fill a role, and doing these will result in duplications of these sims. So Buddy Scoop will now follow his schedule 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and he will not reappear with different names in the relationship panel. Other reports in this thread were investigating appeared to have been addressed in past updates previously. We holistically fixed an issue where multiple objects could get stuck in the Sims inventory and couldn't be placed back in the world with drag and drop functionality. This also caused a grayed out interaction on put in inventory on certain objects due to ownership, which also has been fixed. And lastly, they fixed an issue where worlds could appear twice on the world selection screen. This is for events. They fixed the issue where the game could get stuck with a Sims performs the fan self interaction with the fluttering hand fan. This is for the lady bullshit masquerade ball event. There's other stuff for city living, so they fixed some visual ceiling issues observed for the adjacent apartment ceilings upon using cutaway / walls down view options. For cats and dogs, they fixed an issue where pets could receive a black texture after spending a day at the vet clinic. Unfortunately, this fix is not retroactive in saves where it already occurred. This is for seasons. They said wants and fears relating to Father Winter will no longer show up if the wants and fears are toggled off in the options menu. This is for growing together. So they said infants will properly unlock their first visit a family member's home milestone. Sleep will now reduce the duration of the mental fog buff as well as other days moodlets. The mental fog buff description has also been updated to say sim name is starting to feel woozy from his or her their mental load. Maybe he, she, they should get good night's sleep before things get worse. This is for Horse Ranch. They said they fixed an animation issue with hands when the mysterious rancher sim tried to close an umbrella during a thunderstorm. This is for rent. So they said rent information now is properly displayed in the bills and utilities panel. They said they addressed some occurrences with rent price showing up as 0 for current billing estimate for residential rentals. They fixed the rent calculation to be correct and not decrease over time. Objects in multi-unit residential rentals can now be interacted with properly and the game will not crash after switching a household. They said they fixed an assert that could occur when clicking on a reaction emoji. This is for recycled and legacy. They said we addressed a report that Sims become muscular for no reason. Sims is the doctrine of vitality and intended to gain muscle over time. We've updated the text to become clear for this intended behavior. It said the Greek trait now only displays a single positive value when compared to the scholarly dynasty ideal. Adjusted the ballroom dance animation where the Sims hands could clip with the partner switch section ended. They adjusted the ballroom dance animation where the Sims hands could clip when the partner switch section ended. And they adjusted the ballroom dance animation where the Sims hands could clip when the partner switch section ended. Now this is for outdoor retreat. They said they fixed a simulation error that would occur when using the put in inventory interaction on the Gordon Ramsay caught, or I'm just gonna say Eric. Yeah, I don't know who Eric is, but I'm just gonna say that. And now they also have some tagging fixes. So this is for base game. I'm not gonna try to read this, but it's the Afro Puffs Ombre will now sort in the proper hair length category in Creative Sim. And then the Manny Natural Solid Dirt and Manny Natural Solid Dirt whatever no longer appears. It's duplicated in Creative Sim. Again, this is for cats and dogs, so they have appliances from cats and dogs will now appear in both miscellaneous and show all categories. So for seasons, they also have the More Pizza, I can't even say that. I'm just gonna say More Pizza. Love Seat is now sorting under the Love Seats in build mode. For Eco Lifestyle, they have the Sit Sofa will now be sorted into the outdoor furniture category in build mode. And then for Horse Ranch, they have the Afro Tapered and the cornrows long hairs for children are now also available for the female children with the feminine filter removed. And this is an image provided. Very nice clean hairstyles. I love the textures. Now we have Spa Day. So they said the Relaxo Deluxe chair by Happy Hands and Feet Co. Relax Chair by Happy Hands and Feet Co. and Relax and Go Chair by Happy Hands and Feet Co. will now sort in the miscellaneous comfort category in build mode. This is for werewolves, so this is the Love Seat. They will now be sorted into the miscellaneous comfort and outdoor furniture categories in build mode. And then the T-Tie Solarium is now sorted properly only in lights category in build mode. And the Botanical Beacon Light now sorts under a wall lights only. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the update. I would say after reading the patch notes and then playing the game, there's been minor quality life changes. I don't think this is something that's like as big as it's, you know, they're making it advertised. Like I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say, oh, like they're advertising these patch notes like they're new like like game packs or like expansion pack trailers, and it's like it's just like updates to fix the game. So it's kind of like it's not that deep. But yeah, again, I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. I think it's okay. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I obviously don't want to see the festival notifications anymore, so like that to me is like a relief. I'll say in terms of like the best updates we've gotten, I would say this is not like in the top 5 for me personally. It's just pretty like okay-ish. So yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, if you made it to the end, I appreciate you so much. Hope you guys have a good day and take care.